I'm dead. Hi.
Hey!
Hut!
Green 38. Well, yeah, we started, by the way, in case nobody noticed.
Hey guys,
Hi.
it's Nico.
We're fucking back.
Do you
Okay.
have any? Do you have any books about black people? Yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is turning into ghost stories, like, quotes for several hours.
God, that. By the way, watch Ghost Stories. It's great.
The
Anyway,
dub.
The American
The
dub.
dub, yeah. So, there are several reasons why we skipped Payback and Roadblock. Those reasons were nothing happened.
We also skipped Payback because it hasn't happened yet.
What happened before WrestleMania? Road Fastlane, yeah, Fastlane. We skipped
I
Fastlane.
know. I forget about Fastlane too.
Are you ready for a checkered
Fastlane
flag
happened.
which indicates the
Fastlane
race is
came
over?
when?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Eva Marie, fucknut.
Hey, come on. She was just given the flag to wave.
Wave this and look hot.
It truly was a fast lane. It was so fast we don't remember we don't remember it. It just
Did anything happen on
zipped,
Fastlane?
It just zipped by us. It was zero, and I was like, "What the hell was that? Did we watch anything? Did we
Oh yeah,
watch
there was
something?"
like AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, and that's the only thing you would have gotten out of Fastlane.
True, and they did that again at Mania anyway. So, can we talk about the road to WrestleMania?
Yes.
Shane McMahon came back for
Yes.
some reason, and we had a 40-year-old man fight a 50-year-old man in a giant fence.
Did he come back right before?
Right
like,
after Fastlane.
Okay, I thought it was like after Fastlane.
I feel like it was
Or
after
Fastlane and
Roadblock. Actually.
Roadblock.
If you win, Shane, you'll get control of Raw. If you lose, you gotta stroke my penis.
Yep.
I didn't notice that was an incest joke. Hold on, sorry about that.
We've done worse on this show.
Yeah, totally. I think like the way they've been handling Roman Reigns up to WrestleMania was probably the most fucking gag-inducing thing.
Oh man.
Triple H, if I remember right, Triple H won the championship, was like, and then
And everyone was happy. People cheered that.
Triple H beat up Roman Reigns, and he got cheered for it. And the episodes of Raw where Roman Reigns was injured, we had actual decent talent wrestling in the main event. And as soon as he came back, boo.
Yep. By the way, speaking of Fastlane, there have only been 2 Fastlane pay-per-views so far.
Well, that's because last year was the first one.
Yeah, it's the new. It's like I think the newest pay-per-view.
Wasn't the last one like Judgment Day? Or Backlash? No, wait, that's after.
We're talking about February pay-per-views.
Yeah, February pay-per-views, because it used to be Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, before
Or
Fastlane, it was
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I think before Elimination Chamber, it was like they were saying Valentine's Day Massacre. I know, but man,
Well, that's because it has Valentine's Day in it, but regardless.
hold on, I gotta dig back a bit. We're gonna dig for the pay-per-view chronology or the WWE Network event chronology, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it,
Woo.
to see what was the February shows.
We're in a very weird spot in wrestling where, like, the storylines are absolutely fucking garbage, but all the wrestling's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem of like the matches are good, but the story
there's
is
no
so
way
bad
out.
that it's hard to care about the match itself because like a story helps you get invested in what in the match. Like
So
the match can be great. No, and don't get me wrong. Sometimes that's all you need, but having a story helps you get more invested in the match itself.
hell, the reason why like Steve Austin got really over was entirely story and character. It wasn't because he was like Bret Hart.
Exactly. Stone Cold hasn't admitted he wasn't the greatest worker, and he didn't have the greatest moveset. Hell, if you look up his moveset, it's pretty basic.
Punching, Blue Fest Press, and Stunner.
Maybe a suplex here and there.
Maybe like in Comic Drop or some shit, but yeah.
It was,
the
it was entirely because of
paper was no way out.
Storyline.
What is with being trapped in November pay-per-views? Like, though we have switched from like being physically trapped in a November pay-per-view to like metaphorically trapped in a November pay-per-view.
Or February pay-per-views, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, but I just remembered another thing about Fastlane. Feed me more! Feed me more! Feed me more!
No one's gonna get that. Anyway.
Fucking Big Show.
I don't even. Oh.
Oh yeah, Big Show Ryback turned heel and Big Show turned face, and Ryback became Goldberg and stuff.
He became Goldberg with a weird fetish for talking about movies.
What happened is Ryback decided to finally give back his singlets to Rob Van Dam.
He started to smell.
Of weed.
I don't know why they smell of weed when Ryback's wearing them, but whatever.
They just smell of weed all the time. It's fucking RVD.
He's like permanently high.
Speaking of just to go off topic for a brief second.
Off topic
thinking about it, Rob Van Dam's title push ended way too soon just because he got busted for pot, and it was stupid.
Yeah. I'm okay with the idea of, like, punishment, but at least hold it off for a bit.
And speaking of which, they just punished Adam Rose and
Connor.
Who else was it?
The Ascension guy.
Oh yeah, Connor, I think. And like, you have WWE. Do you not realize you already have a depleted roster because of injury? This is not a good time to be putting people on suspension. You need people to wrestle for you.
Well, to be fair, if they had that kind of foresight, Titus O'Neil wouldn't have been suspended.
When did that happen?
It happened after Daniel Bryan's retirement. He got suspended for touching his hands on Vince McMahon.
That was the stupidest fucking suspension, by the way.
Yeah.
What other shit? Oh yeah.
You bumped him into me, damn it! You're suspended.
The fact that they had a special live event where nothing happened.
Wait, which one? Fastlane or Roadblock?
Roadblock.
Okay,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Road closed.
Road closed.
I will always be like, I hope they never do another Roadblock show, because I'm just gonna keep making WCW jokes every time.
Roadblock was essentially a house show, except here's the difference from what I've heard of house shows. House shows usually have the faces tend to have the faces when because they. Occasional little heel wins will happen. Most of the the main event of the show, the faces win on house shows.
Mostly because they want people to go home happy.
Exactly. It's but people are calling this a glorified house show, except it had the opposite result.
Didn't every heel win or some shit?
Let's see. New Day beat the League of Nations, and no party. Let's see. Jericho beat Swagger.
Yes.
Bible beat Enzo and Cass. Charlotte beat Natalia. Brock beat the Wyatt family. Sami Zayn beat Stardust, excuse me. And Triple H beat Dean. So for the most part, the heels won.
And it just felt like that people they know Dean Ambrose is super popular, so like they did this thing where like, okay, here's your title match, and fuck off. Now Dean Ambrose is sort of that guy who loses to other guys.
Oh my God!
It doesn't even really put those guys over.
The treatment of Dean Ambrose is one of the worst things I've ever seen done to anyone. Like he gets to be in the main event, but he never gets to be the main event or.
You are the main event loser.
Or win at the main event.
Well, I would rather. You're the. Yeah, he doesn't get to win at the main event. That's the problem.
That's your push. You get to lose at the main event.
Any other thing we need to talk about up to? Because I think we've done the Roman Reigns thing to death. That is unsalvageable.
It was the biggest problem was like they give us Dean Ambrose versus Triple H with the stipulation if Dean Ambrose wins, he's he become it's literally for the title, which means if he wins, that means he gets to face Roman at WrestleMania.
AKA an event people would want to watch.
I'd watch that.
Exactly. It's like they had a chance to give us something we would actually want to see.
Also, no. Roman's beaten Dean twice. So,
I mean, now that I think about it, I can see your point, Ali, that they couldn't really stop. They couldn't really just stop and put him in the title picture because they had an ongoing they had the ongoing story with Triple H. They couldn't just.
I do admit sometimes I wish storylines just had
was one of those cases where
wrenches thrown in the gears.
Yeah. Everyone talks about how WWE can be needs spontaneity and shit. Well, what's more spontaneous than just
imagine like Triple H is going after Roman Reigns in a blood feud, and then just suddenly Dean has the title, and just Triple H is like, shit.
And also, like Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose is way more of a sell than Roman Reigns versus Triple H because you have the friends who have been friends for like years. The two who have been closest than anyone else in the locker room. Finally fighting on the big stage for the title. That's like
since Seth Rollins' legs exploded, that's the best thing you can get for now.
Yeah.
If they couldn't stop the storyline of Triple H and Roman Reigns, make it a triple threat. I mean, like, if Triple H loses his title...
I wanted it to be a fatal four-way where, like, Dean wins the title, Triple H wants it back, Roman Reigns gets a title match by default, and Brock Lesnar wants to kill Dean Ambrose. And I just wanted it all to happen in the same match.
That would be awesome.
That would have been great. Brock can just suplex everybody as he does.
Even though, to be honest, that's getting a little boring.
But it's just like, even if Triple H loses the title at Roadblock, he's still entitled to a rematch, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like
that's what I thought he'd do his rematch at WrestleMania, but Roman's got a match too, so they're both #1 contender.
And Brock Lesnar just comes in because he wants to kill Dean Ambrose.
It's stupid Dean Ambrose.
Then you can continue, this story that you could insert a story between Roman and Dean, which has been going on for a long time anyway, and still wrap up the Triple H storyline.
But Roman Reigns has been doing this thing after that, where he goes, "I'm not the bad guy or a good guy, I'm the guy." Like they're trying to sell him as a tweener now.
It reminds me of a line.
Because he was going to turn heel, sorta, and then AJ Styles sorta turned heel at the same time, and now like there's the Bullet Club and shit.
You can't make AJ Styles a heel. I'm sorry.
And I just wish that like Roman Reigns would just come out and go, "My name is Roman Reigns, and I hate babies."
Are you saying that Roman Reigns is as dumb as Caboose?
Cho.
Joe?
Yes. Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Oh boy. Alright, so I think we've covered most of the build stuff. I mean,
yeah. So
Yeah,
WrestleMania. We're going to do WrestleMania first because if we ended with WrestleMania, we'd all feel like shit.
Let's just. I just want to point out, as if everyone who's listened to our shows before doesn't already know this, and if you don't know this, like you probably know this from hearing it about it.
If you don't know, now you know.
Is that for a long time they have been not only trying to sell Roman Reigns as a babyface, which wouldn't be bad if it's not. It's the way they're doing it. They're trying to make him look like an underdog, and it's not. And it's failed so hard because he can't believably pull it off.
he does not look like an underdog in the
He
slightest.
looks like a smug fuck.
Yeah.
You just be one.
It's smug or intense. He could do either of those.
Or intensely smug.
Or intensely smug.
And like Nathan once said, I do believe that they're intentionally limiting him moveset-wise to like the Superman punch and the spear, just to make him look flashy and to further sell that he's the underdog. Now he's probably still not that good. He still probably needs a little bit more work wrestling-wise. But he could be doing a lot more than they're allowing him to.
Well, the biggest problem is, like, he defaults to wrestling like a heel. Like, if you watch his NXT run, he is just beating the shit out of people with, like, knees, pushing them in the corner, throwing them everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of pace where you're kind of slow, but you're still, like, just brutalizing the other guy.
Yep.
That's all we had. Good night.
Yeah. Good night. Oh yeah. But let's not forget. I just remembered the IC title build,
It was supposed to be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and then everyone else showed up.
Yeah. But they just added like a couple of dudes to do like spots. But I believe it's time we start off our WrestleMania review, gentlemen.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Start off with the pre-show panel of
some people.
Lita's there. I think Byron Saxon's there. I think it was Booker T, excuse me.
Oh, by the way, to show how much the United States title is worth after last year of John Cena putting on a fucking clinic for several months, on the pre-show, it was Ryback versus Kalisto in a kind of shitty match.
I think I've started to re-hate. It's like I've started to re-hate Ryback as a wrestler. He does nothing.
I hated him, then I tried to like him, and then I realized he just kind of goes through the motions when he wrestles, and it feels like he's not really... Like, he'll just do moves until he either wins or loses.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryback, from what I've... it seems like a really nice guy. He's just...
He sucks.
Yeah, he sucks.
He should be in a tag team. Just do hot tags.
Yeah, he would be much better suited for a...
I'm sad because I was such a mark for Ryback when he first came, around in 2012. I liked him when very few people did, but now it's just kind of like,
And not only that, they've turned him heel again. And mind you, there's not been once that turning him heel has ever worked. Like, having him face is what gets him over. He does not get over in a heel in the slightest. I have not heard the audience give him loud boos. They're mostly just kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
They never get.
They don't feel anything.
Yeah.
It might be that he is really the next Goldberg, because when they tried to turn Goldberg heel in WCW, that bombed just as much.
It's something. It's the case with Roman Reigns too, but we'll get to that. But in general, WWE seems to have forgotten the lesson they should have learned a long time ago. It's like they learned it then, but it's like they've unlearned it slowly over the past 15 odd years or more. That you should, if you can't unite someone against, if you can't unite people to cheer for a face, then have them unite against them as a heel, or vice versa. You need to have the audience united, mostly united in what they feel about a guy. Like, that's when you know you've hit that right, that mark with the character and the way you're portraying them and the booking decisions and such. It's when you have the crowd united in either hatred or love for that wrestler.
Yeah.
Now there are not to say that there aren't exceptions. That rule, but that's what you want. And if you're dividing the audience, or you're trying to push them as one thing and it's having the opposite reaction, you need to fix it. You need to do something different.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we've mentioned him enough, but Mauro Ranallo is the best thing going on commentary.
Yeah, if you weren't looking at the match and you had your eyes closed, Mauro Ranallo was like, "Oh my God!"
He calls moves.
Yes.
That is so rare that it's like the most wonderful thing. He salvages shit like this, because otherwise you wouldn't care. But it's just like Mauro Ranallo makes every match feel like it's it's important.
Mauro, you know what Mauro is?
Yeah.
He's the next JR.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like the evolution of JR.
Slightly less Southern JR.
Yes.
He actually gets excited for the match, and not to say that Cole can't, but I think it's Vince, but because Vince is behind, yelling in his ear, it's probably really hard for him to. Because he's not allowed to do his job the way he can do it, as he proved when they did the Beast in the East. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
I had a stroke, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
But Kalisto retains off of Salida del Sol. Your basic big man, small man match.
Yeah,
we don't talk much about Kalisto because really he's just kind of there.
I am happy that Kalisto won because he had, like, when he first won the title, he immediately lost it back to Del Rio, and then he won it back again. So at least they're letting him run with it.
He has one defense logged now. Well, probably more defenses than that, but he has one pay-per-view defense logged.
Since WrestleMania, how often has he been on the show? Barely at all.
Who?
Kalisto.
I
think he was in a
they didn't even build to his fucking title match besides just bringing it up in a sentence once.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Everything went downhill after John Cena lost. It's like, oh, we don't know what to do with this title anymore.
Yeah, it just seems like the whole make the U.S. title thing important was probably just John Cena's audible more than it was just like, oh yeah, we'll try and make it important again.
Yeah.
Because they just forget shit like 10 seconds after people keep telling them not to.
So, yeah, it really feels like John Cena, now that I think you're right, it's like John Cena probably, went to Vince and said, let me do this. And now you don't have anyone in that same position to tell them, to ask, hey, could you please do this? Pushing for good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a sad feeling, because, there was a time when the U.S. title match, last year, was, the match you wanted to see. You never knew who was going to be, barring a few, exceptions, when Kane, for some reason, got a shot. I think RVD also got a match.
And Zack Ryder.
Yeah, Zack Ryder. Who we will get to later.
Although he had a semi-decent outing.
Semi-decent. It could have gone longer. But we will get to Zack Ryder. For right now, let's, I think it's time we move on to the next match. And oh my god, that's right.
All the women match.
All the women who are in the women's title match.
This is Brie Bella's last match, because she retired. Could have babies.
Not have babies. She's apparently going to do a spin-off.
And have babies.
All the women except a few that weren't NXT, that weren't the NXT girls. There are three. Let's see. There's three, maybe 2 or 3 women in this match that are NXT divas. All the rest are just
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Paige. The 3 girls are Paige, Emma, and Eva. But
okay, so it's.
I almost feel like she shouldn't count.
Okay, so Paige, Emma, and Summer Rae. I count Summer Rae.
She was in NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes, the match is Lana, Naomi, Tamina Snuka, Emma, and Summer Rae versus Eva Marie, Brie Bella, Alicia Fox, Paige, and Natalya. I feel like I don't know. Maybe that sigh wasn't enough. Let me get that. There we go. You need a groan to go with Eva Marie. Yeah, I did not care about this match at all because it is intrinsically designed for you not to care. It is a let's get everyone a paycheck match.
Yes, the WrestleMania paycheck match.
Yep.
It was. I remember. Yeah, they basically called it the team of Eva, Brie, Alicia, Paige, and Natalya as Team Total Divas. And then Lana, Naomi, Tamina, Emma, and Summer as Team Bad and Blonde.
Yep.
Which is probably another porn troupe name now that I think about it.
Probably. I will. I kind of want to take the risk and look that up. But let's start with the fact that Lana absolutely shouldn't be in the ring.
Because he'll be in his bunk.
Let's start with the fact that Lana absolutely does not need to wrestle. Having Lana wrestle is a waste of Lana's talents.
She's better than Eva Marie, though. But that's not hard.
I'm a better diva than Eva Marie. My tits are way nicer.
Are you a total diva?
I am a total diva.
Okay.
But
How do we establish that?
I am the total diva. Like like Dana Brooke.
Are you from Ohio?
No.
Okay, then you're not Dana Brooke.
Pretty much, thinking about it, and considering what they're doing with the Bellas, I think this was a way for them to retire them retiring the Total Divas as part as a storyline, and also for Brie. It was also was this Brie Bella's last match, or did that happen after?
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is Brie Bella's last match.
Yeah, this was Brie Bella's retirement match.
Hey, you remember the build-up to this match was where Lana was just insulting Brie Bella, and she helped out Summer Rae win a match despite the fact that they should hate each other?
I don't remember that, no.
I do.
Because the build-up was so forgettable.
Yeah. Yeah, Lana and Summer Rae, who spent several agonizing months of 2015 feuding with each other, are now...
God, don't remind me.
Fuck. No one has recovered from that storyline. The most good that's happened for anyone from that storyline is that Rusev finally got acceptable boots.
Pretty much.
Naomi is underutilized as usual. He's better than most. He's not great, but he's better than most.
I will say this for Rusev. The League of Nations, being in the League of Nations is more respectable than the shit that he had to do during that storyline.
That's true. Like I said, Lana is not a wrestler. And that's okay. We can have her be a manager. She's great as a manager. She's great on the mic. But they don't let her be on the mic anymore. She has to wrestle, apparently.
Do you think that's the way they're punishing her? It's like, for the
I don't think they're punishing her. I just think they're stupid.
It's a possibility this is their way. I don't want to wrestle. You're wrestling now.
I genuinely don't think they're trying to punish her for anything. I just think they're stupid.
Yeah, that's probably more likely, but...
Tamina's okay-ish.
She's always been okay-ish.
Yeah. She's never been great, but, if you need someone who's at least, who at least looks like they can throw someone around for a bit, that's fine. She was great in one match with Paige. I actually really liked that match.
She's basically one of the... probably the last of the big... the powerful divas,
Yeah. Yeah, very few powerhouse divas around. Very few powerhouse women in wrestling, really. I think it's like her and Jessica Havoc. Oh, yeah, and Kong. I forgot she's still wrestling in WWE.
I personally count Bayley among that, because I think...
Oh, yeah, Bayley, the surprisingly strong for someone so small. Bayley, who hugs people and then throws them.
It's like Taz, but with hugs.
Yeah. It's like a more cuddly Taz. You can now enjoy the mental image of Taz trying to cuddle Michael Cole. While I talk about the sad story of Emma.
Well, Cole, here comes the pain.
That's my pick, Cole. Hug, hug, hug. Cole's just trying to escape from his chair. Comes the cuddles, Cole.
Here comes the emotional pain.
Hide ranks the least of your problems.
What?
Hide ranks the least of your problems, Cole.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. Bella, who has been pretty much wasted since she came up to the main show. She had a pretty good run in NXT, but then it just kind of like then they brought her back up to the main show without any fanfare to be a part of this match.
Yep. They've been doing that. Haven't they been doing that for a while? They'll just kind of bring her into a match whenever they feel like they need her for
Basically.
one of these big women tag matches.
Basically, yeah. It's the only paycheck she's getting these days. Or at least any like main show paycheck she's getting. Then you have Summer Rae, who I consider the most underrated diva they have. You know, one of the few divas in this match who has a good sense of psychology. And I think, doesn't she end up... No, she doesn't end up taking the pin. Naomi ends up taking the pin for this match. Wait, where is Naomi? Oh, I fucking passed Naomi. Oh, wait, I think I talked about Naomi for a bit. Then you have... We have to talk about her. Eva Marie.
And that's enough talking about Eva Marie. Moving on.
Okay, Brie Bella retires here. Had a decent run. Actually, I shouldn't say she had a decent run.
No.
No.
Like, she was just like perpetuating the problem for several years, and she only got good, like better near the end, not good. She did a sick fucking yes lock though at the end of that.
Yeah.
What do you mean she retires heel?
I didn't say heel. What the fuck are you talking
Mega
about?
Fighter did.
I said she retires here.
It sounded like you said heel.
She retires heel. Because that's how you go out as a...
You go out by just saying, fuck you for liking me, crowd. Fuck you!
Well, JBL retired it. JBL retired it.
Double bird just walks away.
No, he's still here.
Well, I meant as a wrestler, he retired.
I know, but I'm just saying, can you go away?
Alicia Fox, who was actually pretty good.
She's a fucking veteran apparently in this fucking company.
But
don't notice.
Never really know they don't know what to do with her.
She didn't do anything. She's been there a really long time, and she's a face.
Paige, who is Paige?
She hasn't been doing much.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a sentence that pretty much pervades the entire diva. She hasn't been doing much.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Have they soured on her or something?
Like, Paige is one of their better wrestlers. Her mom was a wrestler.
Her mom is a wrestler. I think she still wrestles out in the independents.
Yeah.
They've been wanting... Apparently there's been, like, some support to actually for them to sign Saraya, which I would be okay with. And anyone is just like, oh, but she's old. It's just like, who the gives a fuck?
Have her help Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah.
With training.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that. Also, they haven't done anything with her, or she hasn't done anything in a while. Natalia. Well, to be fair, she was probably tending to her husband.
She's getting a title match.
Yep. Now they're doing things with her.
Which might finally poke in a hole in Riddler's theory that they hate that WWE or Vince hates the Hearts. If they actually let her win.
But they're probably going to have Charlotte win.
What's after that?
What's up for what?
This.
What happened after that? Lita.
Oh yeah, Lita.
Oh yeah, Lita came out.
Lita presents the new title belt, which is basically
a white and red version of the men's title belt, which I'm okay with.
She talks about former women's champions, and
because fun fact, champions wear red. I wish that Charlotte wore red to the ring with the red belt. Because seriously, champions wear red.
All red everything. Eva Marie for Women's Championship.
She mentions
Eva Marie as Women's Championship.
Yes.
Oh God.
You have to take Eva Marie to the ring
Yes.
in a wheelbarrow.
She mentions Trish Stratus and said the women paved the way for the new division, the Divas. Really? Divas. Well, yeah, you did pave the way for the Divas, but I don't know. Are you really happy that they paved the way for the
Well,
Divas
here's the
division?
thing. She was really important in the women's division, but they tried to get an entire roster of Trish Stratus's without understanding that was a once-in-a-occasion case.
And, she actually worked to get that good.
Yeah.
And here, she was probably asked to say, but this is such a dumb comment. She says, we just saw 10 divas show us what it means for a diva to compete in this ring.
By the way, all the women have been put into the Superstars page instead of being on a Divas page.
No, 10 divas in a match does not mean what it means for a diva to compete, Lita. That's them throwing a bunch of women together just to have them wrestle. That's it, Lita. That is not...
They didn't really get anything out of it. They got nothing out of being in that match.
There's no real competition there, Lita. That is not what it means to compete, to have 10 divas just thrown into a match.
You may as well just throw a whole bunch of mud in the ring while you're at it, for how little it meant.
I don't, honestly, I shouldn't be blaming this on Lita because
I'm going to get some cookies. Be right back.
I'm not going to blame that comment on Lita, really. I'm just... when I say Lita, I really am talking to whoever wrote this crap for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says we'll see 3 women that are that are the next evolution of the Divas Revolution. And they're more than divas, they're WWE superstars. And Mega Fighter, what was your comment on that? I think you were the one who said it.
I don't remember. I'm almost kind of worried that it was...
I think you said, can it be wrestlers?
Can it be wrestlers? Maybe. Maybe that was what I said. I was so worried that I made an awful exchange joke.
I think
at that point.
Either you or Allie said that.
It's also just as likely that Allie said, can it be wrestlers?
Maybe it was Rob. Maybe it was Rob.
Maybe. One of us said that, can it be wrestlers instead of just being like superstars?
And so basically Lita's going to be Lita says the winner of the triple threat is going to be the first ever WWE Women's Championship. First ever? Well, I guess WWE, yes. On a technical, you could say WWE Women's Championship, but because it was WWF before this, but still, that is such a minute technicality.
The first ever WWE Women's Champion. Yeah, fuck you, Moolah. It was a WWE Women's Championship before it got retired, though. So
well, then again, yeah, I would say fuck you, Moolah. She was the originator of the screw job.
You.
Okay, I'm gonna look up when it was renamed.
No, Riddler told me the story because I didn't know about it, and they have actually mentioned it in some of the more recent documentaries how Moolah screwed over Renee Wichter for the title because she didn't want to drop it at the time. She disguised herself in a mask and came out as Spider Lady.
Yeah.
Then she rolled Wendy Richter up and the ref fast counted, and Wendy was trying to kick out because she knew it was happening, but it was too late. And then she ripped the mask off of Spider Lady to reveal it was Moolah the whole time. And that was the original screw job.
Also, technically, the first WWE Women's Champion was Jazz, who, if I recall, oh wait, no, that was Jacqueline who got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Never mind. Let's move on to the next match: the Dudleys versus the Usos.
If you've seen an Usos and Dudley Boys match, you've seen this one.
Yep, it was a match where the Dudleys did some things and the Usos did some things. And then they had I think they won, and then they got put through tables.
Yep. And honestly, I know. I personally would have liked to see the Dudley Boys win a match or win a match at a pay-per-view, because they have not won a single match on a pay-per-view. I don't think.
They're here to do the legend job. So they put
I mean, initially I get that, but if you're gonna if they're ever gonna look like they're like a legitimate threat to actually face these these younger teams, they need to win at least occasionally when it counts, so they can be we're still here, we're still dangerous.
We're still the Dudleys. Bubba the Dudleys and Devon the Dudleys. And we're gonna put you through tables and.
Except not this time. Oops.
So this time we get put through the tables. Actually, I think they made it.
Oh yeah. This is where they decided to just completely abandon the whole Dudley Boys don't use tables because they it was to make them even more heels, because they realized putting put through tables is what gets the crowd to pop. So we're gonna either tease it or just not do it at all, because fuck you, which I liked. And then they now, I mean, I guess eventually they might, having them use it eventually, but I think they waited. I think they could have dragged that out longer. Use a table, have them take out the tables when it actually makes sense for them to, not just because they lost a match. Have them get desperate to win a match or something like that, or have them pull them out because they're desperate. Or they or it actually looks like they just finally fucking snap and just say, "Fuck you, we're putting you through these fucking tables." I mean, yeah, it works because it shows them as hypocrites, but I think they pulled the trigger on it too soon. So, Usos win, but Dudley Boys try to beat them up, but get put through tables.
Yay! Pre-show's over. That's what, 1 hour down? 2 hours down?
Oh, apparently, when the announcers make their way to the ring, JBL gets a pop. Why?
I don't know.
But anyway, let's move to the actual WrestleMania event. First up, we have the ladder match, where we got a bunch of people thrown into this match that didn't need to be there because
we need to have a match where everyone bumps and shit.
Because we have a bunch of people that need. I think they did this because they felt like they needed all these guys to give. Maybe because these guys all complained that they didn't have anything to do.
I don't know.
Some of them complained they didn't have anything to do, or just some stupid. Probably some stupid writer's decision to throw this all together.
They just thought, fuck it, let's just have throw these guys in here. They'll do bumps on ladders and shit. The Intercontinental title match: Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz versus Sami Zayn versus Stardust versus Sin Cara versus Zack Ryder versus Kevin Owens.
And it made no sense. Like it came out of nowhere because like we've already have an established blood feud between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens that had been going that they had renewed this feud before this match started. So it makes sense for it to just be the two of them. But nope, we're just going to throw a bunch of these guys in here and just completely kill the build-up for no reason. It was a good match.
It was.
It was. I've seen a bit more brutal ladder matches, but then again, I think they're really starting to tone down how crazy these guys get in later matches.
Big pop for The Miz and his gold jacket.
Oh yes,
I love that jacket. It's
like come out with that more often. Why didn't he keep that jacket and just?
He's been using that jacket for a while, actually.
I haven't seen him come out to it since.
I swear he's used it every Raw since he debuted it.
Nope.
Okay, maybe he didn't use it last Raw. I remember the Raw after WrestleMania. He had that jacket. I think the Raw after that one he had the jacket. It is a sweet jacket. I want it. I want that jacket.
There was the one thing that I have to say, the one detriment that I have to say that's meant it kind of bugged me personally, and I think it was bugging one of you guys as well, if not both of you, or everyone who was in there watching. They kept doing they overdid the spot of guy climbs up, let's push him, and then as he's sitting on the top of the ladder, someone pushes it over and he falls down.
Oh yeah, and then they get put into the selling zone, as Ali dubbed it. Oh, Ali's muted. Why is he muted?
What?
He's eating cookies.
Oh.
I'm eating cookies, you dick.
You should pop in every time you're done with a cookie and say something.
Chocolatey oatmeal cookie.
You fat ass.
I don't like being called fat.
You could finish a cookie and then comment on something.
I hammered through my cookies. It's fine.
Okay, but yes, the selling zone.
Oh yes, the selling zone, which is right after the ramp on the left side of the ring. That's where everyone just kind of lays down to sell if someone does a big move.
You don't want to be in the selling zone.
Oh, let's mention when the part where Sammy tips the ladder over, but Sin Cara springboards himself off the top, but nobody bothers to really catch him, and
everyone takes the big show bump,
and he just lands dead on the floor. It looked like he had gotten injured all over again.
He probably did.
I don't think they haven't said he's injured, so he's probably. But that did not look fun.
Oh yes, and Stardust with both the Dusty Rhodes polka dots and the polka dot ladder.
Oh yeah, they brought up the polka dot ladder. I forgot about that.
Not as cool as when he brought up the bling ladder last year. That was my favorite.
I don't remember that.
He brought out like a diamond crested ladder. It was the fucking WSX bling ladder. I swear to God, this happened. It was a sequin ladder.
what I thought was great was like he was still staying character, even though like when he was there was a part where it looked like he was about to win or he was doing really well, and the crowd actually started getting behind him, Cody, and you saw him immediately have that thing where like, who's calling me Cody? Fuck off!
You're playing pole position.
I don't remember what that joke was about.
It's because it was during a match between Golden Stardust versus Miz, and Miz now it's like, you want Miz now? Well, you got Stardust. And we just turned it into you're playing pole position.
Okay.
And so this match is, it's a ladder match at WrestleMania. Everyone does some sort of big stupid bump. Someone dies, usually Sin Cara. I think Sin Cara took like a nest. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it was like he dove onto the ladder, like he did like a.
Oh yeah, Cara leapt off the ladder and crashed through Stardust.
Yeah, I remember that looked awful because it was just like, oh my god, they're dead. But the big thing people remember about this match is who won it.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, it was Zack Ryder, and we were all fucking shocked. Because...
Yeah. We was like, holy shit, Zack Ryder won something. And won something important. He had him... Not only that, he was allowed to have a WrestleMania moment. What, like, the first, I think, in his career, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, good for him. Good for him. But this came out of fucking nowhere.
We were confused, and that's the sentence I feel is going to be a recurring thing throughout this WrestleMania review is we were confused.
I mean, we were kind of happy and people popped, but at the same time, it's like they literally had decided to have him win because he lost immediately on the Raw after to Miz. Like they did it just to do the surprise winner. Yep. Instead of having either Kevin Owens or Zayn win it, which would have been the sensible choice to win the match. And I mean, hell, Miz would have been a more sensible choice if you were going to just give him the title anyway.
Sensible thing. Why we do that? Let's count our money. Anyway.
After when he wins, his dad is there, and he looks jacked as shit.
Ryder's dad looks like he'd be willing to just fight anyone at that moment.
Zack Ryder's dad looks like he could beat up John Cena's dad.
Probably could, honestly, because everyone beats up John Cena's dad.
Good point.
Everyone beats up John Cena's dad.
Yeah, his dad just comes into the ring and celebrates with him, and then our next match is the finale of the trio of matches between AJ Styles and Chris Jericho.
This was a good match.
I think that's another problem with this WrestleMania, and we've said it, and this is something we've said in a WrestleMania prior. WrestleMania is supposed to be the show of shows. It's supposed to be where you go out and you put on the best match you possibly can. And then when you get to WrestleMania and you watch the match, it's like, it's a good match. That's not what we came here to see. We want you to put on a fucking show. Come on.
That's true. That's a good point. But AJ Styles and Chris Jericho is a good match. And, it was a good match at Fastlane. It was the only memorable match of Fastlane. Ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember, anything specific from this match that was really good.
It was about pretty much everything you could expect out of a match with these two guys, and it was good. But then Chris Jericho wins,
and everyone just kind of like, huh?
Yeah, he just kind of wins, which that does make them 2-2. But it's still just kind of weird that Jericho didn't really need to win, and this is the WrestleMania of them ignoring what happened at the end of it anyway. Because AJ Styles goes for the World Heavyweight Championship after that.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
We'll talk about that eventually.
At least Kevin Owens is in a match with several people, so yes, he lost his match. But
it's a little more believable.
He just didn't win.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a one-on-one fight, Styles lost. How does he suddenly get to be in the title picture?
Because everyone else got injured.
Yeah, that's probably more of the case. But if they were going to give him a program for the title, why didn't they have him win this match to make him, seem like a believable? It would, in a kayfabe sense, it would make him seem like a more believable contender.
I mean, I'd be fine if the match was better than it was. It was just kind of a good match, but it didn't feel like the finish.
It wasn't their best match. Their best match was the the third one, I think.
Yeah, it was the Fastlane match, really.
Third match? Did they have 4 matches?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. This was their
SmackDown, Fastlane, WrestleMania.
So yeah, Fastlane was their best match, and it's just
so
this felt more this felt oddly just passing the time until the final match rather than just being a definitive end.
And I honestly thought after this match is are they just gonna end the feud at Extreme Rules instead? But no, now AJ gets to go for the title.
Yep.
Not only are they not gonna end the feud at Extreme Rules, there's not even gonna be an Extreme Rules. It's gonna be Payback, apparently. Can we ever have a consistent pay-per-view schedule from one year to the next?
I can't wait for Singles Match. My favorite pay-per-view.
Singles match, where the main event will be a tag team match just to piss everyone off.
No, it'll just be each individual member of the New Day has to wrestle for their tag team belt. So the tag team is just the New Day with Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, and Biggie Langston.
I actually would laugh if they decided to create a pay-per-view called Tag Team Match Playa in honor of Teddy Long.
And the ending has to be a tag team match with The Undertaker.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, the Brothers of Destruction come back for the 50th time. And speaking of tag team matches, that's a great segue into our next match, New Day versus League of Nations, which is not for the tag titles.
Yep,
I totally
a non-title match.
But I'll take it.
New Day show up in a box of cereal that falls over, and when it falls over, they're dressed as Saiyans with unicorn horns. I'm not drunk.
I've ever seen.
We're quite sober. I've never done any alcohol in my life. We've never done drugs.
I did once, but that's it.
The most drugs I've ever done is just stuff for headaches,
Okay, my Allie's story time. I did weed one time, and I ended up, apparently, according to my sisters, but I did wake up where they said it happened. I got high, went out my backyard, started skipping, and jumped face first into the flowers, where I started to giggle for an hour before I woke up.
That does not sound surprising, oddly. That just sounds exactly how I imagine you being high. Is it just like, just really happy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly like that. That sounds like what Bill Cosby says weed is like. You start laughing and no one knows what you're laughing.
Well, I mean, Bill Cosby
what
is the
they're
drug
laughing
expert,
about.
but
Oh my god!
the roofie.
I was worried we were gonna go there.
I missed it. What'd he say?
Said Bill Cosby is the drug expert.
Oh God.
So yeah, 20-foot box of Bootios just collapses with like fake giant cereal in it.
Oh,
And
outside the Bootios.
Oh, and for those of you listening to this, go and try and look up a picture that has the side of the box with all the ingredients, because it's the fun.
Remember the dance steps for the Biggie Swivel Mega Fighter?
What?
Remember the dance steps on the box for Biggie's?
Oh my god, yeah, and then it says like swivel forever.
No, it's like look them directly in the eyes, slowly rub the back of your head as you swivel your hips, gyrate forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's best. And the New Day come out dressed as Saiyans, and we're just like laughing and wondering what the fuck are we watching? Like,
I think I tweeted something like, "I need to lay off the drugs."
I did post on a forum like, just I'll look up the post, but I just I feel like, but keep talking while I look up this post because like wrestling is so weird.
Yeah, it really is. But that's the new. They have made the New Day into this the goofiest thing, but it's also the greatest thing.
Oh yeah, I'm watching three black men climb out of a giant box of cereal dressed as Satan with unicorn horns, and one of them is carrying a trombone.
Wrestling.
Wrestling, my friends.
It just seems like at some point, the Xavier Woods and probably I would assume Xavier Woods, I guess talked it over with Vincent and said, "Hey, let us try this. Let us try this." And Vince like, "Okay." And
whatever.
And eventually got to a point where Vince just lets him do whatever.
But though the thing is, it works because they did legit sell the most merch at WrestleMania.
Didn't you? And Allie, you told me that apparently Vince just looks them over before they go out and just like gives them a thumbs up, and that's it.
Yep. Whatever. You're making me money.
That's pretty much what it takes to please Vince. Like, if he knows you're making him money, that's all it takes, and he will let you do what you want.
Yep. Comparatively, the League of Nations, I think, just came out to the ring, because it's kind of hard to top that. Now, if they had brought back Rusev's tag from WrestleMania 31, that would have been something.
Rusev comes out to the tank. Sheamus is wearing a kilt. Alberto's wearing a sombrero.
A serape.
A serape.
Serape. And Barrett's with that like a cup of tea. And that's it.
Made a typo. I accidentally wrote Wage Barrett.
Wage Barrett?
I don't know. I'm determining your living costs.
The match is, I believe, Barrett and Rusev are the ones wrestling in this match.
I thought it was a 6-man tag.
It was I thought it was a 2-on-3, wasn't it?
It might have been. No, I feel like the 2-on-3 was like on Raw.
The result says it was 3-on-3.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, 3-on-3. Duh. Obviously, it's just one guy was at ringside, and I think it might have been Barrett.
Yeah. Then they kicked him out that day or two afterward.
Yeah, that's right. This match is honestly just kind of forgettable too. That's another thing that is like prevalent throughout this WrestleMania. Everything's kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
With
That's not what you. That is not some. That is the last thing you want from a WrestleMania. Like, you want to remember that. Oh my God, this match was great. This WrestleMania was awesome. That's what you want. Like,
yeah, WrestleMania 31. You remember the fucking awesome matches that happened on that show. You remember like Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, where Orton like reversed the curb stomp in the RKO. You remember like John Cena and Rusev.
Yeah, John Cena and Rusev. You remember Brock and Roman Reigns beating the living shit out of each other.
Yeah, you remember shit like that, but this show, you just don't remember anything about it. What I remember is the finishes and our complete and utter confusion as, for some reason, the League of Nations win.
Yep.
They're just kind of like, wait, what? And then you're like, wait, did they just win the titles? And then it's like, oh no, it was a non-title match, and then you're confused. And then out comes Shawn Michaels. And you're still confused, even though it's Shawn Michaels and he's awesome.
Like, and he's twerking.
Yeah, so Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Steve Austin come out. They beat up the League of Nations. And then, like, Kofi Kingston starts twerking in front of Shawn Michaels.
So, basically, okay, you're gonna... I wouldn't have been honestly against the League of Nations winning this match, because they did need a win. They haven't really done... They haven't really gotten any, like, big win. So they kind of needed this. But no, they, like, if they were just going to get beat up at the end, why not just have the New Day win? Like, well, even you wouldn't even need the beatdown after that. Like, have the New Day win. Like, because then the New Day get over. Like, having the League of Nations win and then having the beatdown does nobody any favors. Nobody gets over except the legends who come out. And they're already over. You don't need them to be over. Why are you muted, Megafire?
I don't know. Well, then I guess you could just bring up the fact that like WrestleMania is supposed to be like a media event more than it is a wrestling event, but at the same time, it is still just a little bit annoying.
That is pretty much what from the beginning what Vince wanted it to be. That's, I mean, and to it, and everyone told him it wouldn't work, but he proved everyone wrong. So give Vince credit. But yeah, it's just, like, it's called Wrestlemania. I mean, like, yes, it is a mini event, but like, part of your event is wrestling. Why don't you want wrestling to be good and memorable? I'm not saying it's bad, but you should want the wrestling matches to be memorable.
All right, sorry about that. Had to grab some Skittles. Where are we at?
We're pretty much finishing up with the New Day versus Nations match.
Yep. Oh, apparently,
and how Mick yeah. So, as we mentioned, legends come out. Yeah, HBK and Mick Foley,
Austin,
and they all beat up the League of Nations.
And then they start dancing with New Day, and we are just left wondering what has happened to wrestling.
Yeah.
We're watching WWE Hall of Famers get twerked on by Saiyans.
At least Austin. At first, I was actually worried that they were gonna let Austin just stand there and dance with the New Day, but they actually either they allowed for this, or Austin said, "Fuck that, I'm staying in character." Stuns Xavier.
Oh, that's good. But it was like this show has been odd and forgettable so far, and we continue with after this trip to the Bizarre World to Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
Oh my God, this by far is, I think, more than the Roman Reigns Triple H match, because at least for everything that was, it made sense. It made sense what happened, how the match went down, in terms of like, you knew what you were going to get in that match, pretty much. This, and it delivered on what we expected it to be. This match was the exact opposite of what I think what people were expecting out of it. That's
the problem is Brock Lesnar's wrestling style is pretty much now just do suplexes and win, because he gets too blown up to have a good match now.
And you'd think using weapons you'd be able to get like some mileage out of it, but no, didn't work.
Nope.
And by far the thing that ticks me off the most about this match is they have these segments in the previous Raws where Terry Funk and Mick Foley give him weapons to use in this match as like a passing of the torch and everything.
I'm still waiting for when New Jack just gives him a knife.
But he doesn't even. But he pulls them out, and he never even gets to hit Lesnar with them.
He doesn't. Well, to be fair, Finn Balor stole the chainsaw from him, but we'll get to that.
But like, is there such thing? Now you could say, "Oh my God, well, you're actually suggesting me hit him with the chainsaw." I'm sure there's gotta be a way that
there's just one easy spot they could have done, and it would have been really safe. Dean Ambrose swings the chainsaw, Brock dodges, chews up a turnbuckle.
I think Brock Lesnar could absolutely take a chainsaw to the gut.
My thought is, there's got to be a way they can gimmick the chainsaw to make it so like hitting him doesn't actually cut him in half or cut into him. Like
you could do what Kenny Omega did and just use a toy chainsaw.
Yeah, make it just design a big ass toy chainsaw. Design it somehow so like it hits Brock Lesnar and it just shoots sparks out when it hits him.
Didn't they just have that when Terry Funk was in WWE, where he just had like a gimmicked up chainsaw that just shot out sparks all the time? It wasn't hitting anything.
And they could, and I mean, they could use a blood packet or something to make it look like he hit him. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, but I think the biggest disappointment is he gets to have Barbie, and swings, it completely misses, so and then it just gets tossed out away.
And that's why you don't try to throw Kelly at someone.
Because if anything's gimmicked, maybe the chainsaw isn't. But it's Barbie. It's not. It's
super plasticky rubber barbed wire that they use these days.
So even if it hits them, yeah, it would hurt. It might cause some blood, but it's safe. Like, you could do it. Why would they give it to this to them if he doesn't actually get to hit him with it? It just felt like he gets these weapons and then never really gets to use them. What was the fucking point?
I don't know.
I
guess I really cannot fathom why they did. This match could have been done well, because I feel like Brock Lesnar's the kind of guy who could do like a hardcore match well, because, you know, he's limited, so just cover up the fact that he doesn't have a lot going for him just by having him hit Dean with weapons a lot.
Just have him throw shit at him. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I could honestly, I kind of liked what they were doing. It was like, Brock Lesnar doesn't need weapons. I kind of liked that.
Sadly, it seems like he does, though.
But the thing is, though, like, the story should have been then Dean is hitting Brock with everything that he can, every weapon that he can get his hands on, just battering the living shit out of Lesnar, and you know, and Brock's hurt to a degree, but it's still not enough, and Brock eventually wins. I would have been fine with Brock winning if that was the case. Like, that Dean Ambrose's never... he gets the shit beat out of him by Lesnar, but he's constantly being an annoying... He's basically like a pest that never will go away. Goes away until Lesnar finally hits the big move that hits the big F5 to finish him off. You know, like, the problem was, like, Dean Ambrose pretty much, like, got no offense, very little offense in this match. It was just basically Brock Lesnar just destroying him. Ambrose was made to look like a joke, like he never had a shot. This match made him look like he never had a shot. I don't understand why they wrote the match that way. You could have had him. You could have had him lose. Fine. At least make it look like he, you know, he gave it his all. And still there's the little, and still there's, like, why does Brock need to win in the first place?
I don't know.
This could have been the big thing that Dean. This is what Dean needed. This win, he really did. Dean needs a big win, and he's still not getting it. To truly legitimize Dean Ambrose as a main event caliber player, he needs to win when it counts, and they won't let him. And I don't understand why. I can understand him losing when Roman is involved because they're hoping him being there with Reigns is so the heat will rub off Roman by just him being there.
Yeah. Kinky.
But he's not even involved in this.
Nope. It doesn't
so
work.
Why is he still losing?
I really have no fucking clue. From what I understand, he and Vince were all right with each other. Vince liked him, but just something went wrong.
I know we've said this joke before, but I really think Dean has become yet another on the list of superstars that have hit Vince McMahon with his car.
I'm just imagining now several superstars have hit Vince McMahon in his car, and he just always gets up right after it and keeps walking. Like he's just used to this now. It's like,
Just another day where I got run over.
Whatever, I'll deal with you later. He just keeps doing the McMahon strut.
I think by far this was the most depressing part of WrestleMania.
Dude, this is making me sad just talking about it again.
Yeah, it really does.
Skills
So,
are making me happy.
let's move on from that depressing note. And we get to Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for triple threat for the newly minted women's title.
Fresh mint flavor women's championship.
A good match. Again, we have a problem of it's just a good match. We've seen these women put on way better matches in NXT.
Yeah. You know what's the most, there was one very WrestleMania-esque moment of Snoop Dogg doing a rap to Sasha Banks' theme, which...
But then he had to bring her along that his... What is it, his sister?
His cousin?
Whoever that...
What was the girl who was singing Sasha Banks' theme? Was she another one of Snoop's cousins?
Yeah, she was.
And she was terrible live.
Oh my god, she sucked.
Oh my god, I also forgot. While we're talking about the singing, remember Fifth Harmony singing the national anthem?
No, I don't.
We're going to leave it at that.
All I remember was two things. One was Allie going, "Who are you people?" And the other was Allie being disappointed that there wasn't any grain in the Titantron.
I want some amber waves of grain, motherfucker.
He wants his grain. If you're gonna sing the national anthem, you better bring some fucking grain. Oh yeah, another thing we gotta remember as we're talking about future women's champion Charlotte. They had a Snickers commercial backstage where Ric Flair's trying to get Zack Ryder to do the woo, and he keeps fucking it up. And he gives Zack Ryder Snickers, and then Zack Ryder turns into Charlotte. So what we're implying here is that it's entirely possible that Charlotte is the Intercontinental Champion. Zack Ryder was Charlotte the whole time.
I'll buy it. Yeah, I mean, good match. I mean, these women can do. Of course, with these three women involved, you know, you would expect a good match, and that's what we got. It just felt like they could have done more. And then Charlotte wins, and I'm like, okay.
So sure.
I mean, I'm not necessarily completely against Charlotte winning, but it just felt like she's had a long run with this with the belt. Like, can't we give the belt to someone fresh now? Like it's like we're revamping the women's title. Like, that's almost like starting over. It felt like, why not start over? Start kind of like putting on someone new. It's like reboot kind of thing. You're giving it a new women's title. Give us a new champion.
Yeah, match is good. Let's not take anything away from this match. This match is good. It's not great, which is a problem, but it's a good match. I recommend you watch it anyway.
It's just the linear is confusing. Not that it's not necessarily a huge problem that Charlotte wins. It's just why.
This is probably the least confusing result on the show so far.
Yes. Then we get... Oh, God. This match.
Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Hell in a Cell.
The match that really only happened, honestly, because Cena was injured and couldn't have done it. Like, this honestly probably would have been Undertaker's last match if John Cena was his opponent. And it really should have been, when you think about it. But no, Cena's entered, and we get, instead, the 46-year-old, 46, isn't he?
Isn't he? I think he's 48. Look it up.
Well, let's just say he's in his upper 40s.
46, yeah.
Hasn't been in WWE for 6 years. Hasn't been in a ring for 12. Shane McMahon.
Can't throw a fucking punch to save his life, Shane McMahon.
This match was... this match was a chore. It wasn't as bad as the... It wasn't as much of a slog as the match after this. But it was still pretty just... This match felt slow, and it was really the fault of the fact that we had two guys that get blown up really quick, get blown up really easily.
There is nothing convincing about this match either. It's like Shane McMahon is able to reverse the Hell's Gate and turn it into a sharpshooter, and I'm just looking at this like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Well, someone said, he knows martial arts, and I'm like, it's the fucking Hell's Gate!
Brock Lesnar knows more martial arts than Shane McMahon does. Brock Lesnar was an NCAA champion, and he couldn't reverse the Hell's Gate.
Exactly. How does Shane McMahon get to be the guy that reverses the Hell's Gate?
His hair has probably more than 50 shades of gray in it, and how does he get to reverse the Hell's Gate?
There was pretty much kind of Taker throwing Shane McMahon around, and then Shane McMahon would get a brief bit of offense because you had to make him, I guess, because of the length of this match, which went on way longer than it should have, they had to let him do something.
And then he does the spot.
Yep. The spot that we honestly...
The money! There comes the money! I cannot fathom in what universe someone okayed the idea of Shane McMahon at 46 diving off a fucking 20-foot cage onto a table. I can't fathom who allowed this. He did that in front of his children, too. I should note.
Yep. And he didn't even get a holy shit chant. Like, we saw him climb, it's like, oh my god, is he actually going to do this? Like,
I think the crowd was dead silent after he landed.
And I had heard, and rumors were that they were practicing something even crazier before this, that they were going to do a move off the fucking, he was going to jump off the Titantron.
Oh my god.
Which is even higher than the Cell, apparently.
If they didn't move off the Titantron, that means they got far the fuck away from the Cell, which just kind of seems a little stupid, actually.
But, yeah, you knew he was going to do so.
You okay?
I don't know, he just kind of broke.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay, I think we can still manage this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does the dive 20 feet and just drops. And I know you took
Undertaker got out of the way and he just kind of fell through the table.
Shit. Oh, his headset died. Yeah, we can manage this. I remember the one thing was, like, your replay kept, like, every time it would go to the jump, it would keep skipping for you, so it was just repeated.
I had to do it 3 times.
It was so great. But then you got to see it, and it was just, like, it was horrifying, because it was just like, no. Like, Shane McMahon does not need to be doing this. You could have anyone else be in this match as a proxy for Shane, and you'd get a better match and a match where someone else could take the bump. Someone young, someone who isn't like in full need of protecting their body. Not saying that, you know, someone's sacrificial, but someone who's more able-bodied to take the bump would be better than, here, we're gonna have it be have you do it, Shane. He did a coast to coast too, which was kind of cool, but
yeah.
Oh my god! I just remembered the bolt cutter, where he took out a bolt cutter to open the fucking thing. And like it took a while for him to open it, or it took a while for him to actually use the bolt cutter. How shitty that was.
Oh yeah, the bolt cutter.
Yes. I remember it took forever for him to get through the fucking chain or whatever with the bolt cutter. Just smash the door or something. I don't know. And eventually they get back in the ring after Shane McMahon proved that he is still alive somehow. Defiance of all logic.
Yep.
But, you know, they do a little bit more. Tombstone, pin. It's over. Shane loses. I guess this isn't a confusing finish, but it's also a finish where you don't care. Especially when the stipulation was stipulation going into this match was if Shane won, then he would get control of Monday Night Raw, which is essentially control of WWE. And if he won, Undertaker would not be able to
weird.
wrestle.
Like, oh, you're in charge of Raw. It's like, I know it's weird, but I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, it's basically said, oh, SmackDown, that's not important.
Yeah, don't watch SmackDown, even though you should watch SmackDown.
Because morals on the show.
Yeah. Watch SmackDown, there's more Ronaldo. And after this show, Shane is just given control of Monday Night Raw for a week. He does absolutely nothing of importance.
Except getting Cesaro put in the match at the end.
That's it.
Pretty much.
And then he gets overwhelming positive support and gets to book another show. And then he just gets to book the third show after WrestleMania, and you're just like, what?
So the stipulation is entirely pointless.
Yes, this match matters very little at all. You can fucking forget this match. Now, see,
I don't understand. It's like, why would you make this match not matter at all? Why? What is?
I genuinely cannot fathom why Shane and Taker had this match. Like, why not just not have an Undertaker match if you're this desperate for opponents? Why not just pick another opponent and start building a storyline from there? How about Bray? I know he's injured, so maybe just have Luke Harper sub. I don't know. Do something. Something. Love of God.
Well, there was the rumor that they were supposedly going to have him against Braun Strowman, but they canned that, and thank God. That would have been...
Thank God, because Braun Strowman...
Apparently Taker just was like, no.
No, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to Nathan Jones this shit.
Oh God, Nathan Jones! That's a reference.
Yeah, the Colossus of Bago Road. Nathan Jones, who, like Brock Lesnar, really fucking hated traveling and just left the company. Huh. What a loser. He go on to like have an acting career. Or no, he just did like a Bollywood movie in 2016, and that's it.
You know, Kane's not doing anything. Why don't they have Kane and Undertaker again? Like, I mean, like people have suggested it. Like it wouldn't be a horrible way for them to have Undertaker's last match be against Kane. At least it'd have been a better match than this. Two veterans who know how to work with each other.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have necessarily been great, but it still wouldn't have been this. It still wouldn't have been this. I mean, honestly, they gave us something to remember, but other than
for
that,
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it was like, oh God, and then the rest of the match is pretty much forgettable otherwise.
So I feel like we've talked about this match enough. The match was pointless, stupid, and boring.
Clearly.
The next match is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
AKA we almost forgot about that Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, I remember us talking about because of how long the Taker match was going. we were and then how long they had until it was like 10 or so. It was like, are they even gonna have? It was almost 10 o'clock, I think, by that point, and it was like, are they just gonna skip the Battle Royal?
Nope.
And it's like,
well, they did. So let's look at the roster. Going backwards here to make the surprise big. In this Battle Royal War, Damian Sandow, The Ascension, Fandango, for some reason Tatanka.
that was a weird one.
Tatanka.
The Social Outcast, R-Truth, Goldust, Darren
I didn't
Young.
even know Tatanka was still wrestling.
He doesn't.
I guess so. I thought Tatanka was dead.
Yeah.
No, that's just his career.
Yeah. Darren Young, Tyler Breeze, speaking of dead careers, Jack Swagger, DDP, Kane, Mark Henry, Baron Corbin, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Which they didn't announce at all.
He just kind of came out, and we were just like, wait, what?
If they wanted this to be, if this is their big surprise, this is their big surprise entrant.
I was confused. I came up with a horribly racist
Like
theory,
everyone else gets a job, pretty much a jobber entrance,
including Tatanka.
but. Did Baron Corbin get an entrance? Because I don't think he did.
No, Baron Corbin got an entrance where he looked as bored as he usually does. Hazard has just no intensity.
By the way, Shaq had music.
Yeah. It might have actually been from his album. Because he did have a rap album.
Oh,
Now, I have a theory.
Oh,
and it's a
my
racist
God.
theory, so you know it's going to be good.
That's Green Egg and Hammett.
It's Green Egg and Hammond.
I want to think that they only put Shaquille O'Neal in this match to replace Titus O'Neal.
That's an interesting theory.
Titus.
We couldn't get this O'Neal. Let's get this O'Neal.
Oh, fuck it. They're bald, black, and they both have O'Neal in their names. And no one will notice.
At least this one won't touch me inappropriately.
I think it was more not so much the O'Neal thing. It's like they wanted a big. I think because they wanted Titus O'Neal. They probably planned Titus O'Neal to do what basically Shaq did with Big Show and everything. To be that big, big guys stand against each other, stare at each other, and then start, fighting spot.
What's weird is that the results I'm reading do not have Big Show listed in this Battle Royal. But
he was in it.
Yeah, no, he was in it, but it's just weird that they don't list him. All because, much like us, they want to forget that Big Show exists.
Well, I'm forgotten about.
And thankfully, one of the first things that happened, they did the smart thing, and pretty much everyone teams up to eliminate Show.
And Shaq. Thank you, God. But yeah, then we have the Battle Royal. There aren't many spots to really talk about in a Battle Royal. All we really need to say is that Baron Corbin won. Which...
I mean, hey, at least you're giving it to someone fresh.
Which still pretty much dooms him to a life of
you're giving it to someone fresh, you're giving it to someone young, which is good.
But he is still doomed to Midgard Hell, as all Battle Royal winners are. Forever standing there with his arms crossed next to the statue. As is the fate of all Memorial Battle Royal winners.
Slowly turn gold.
Slowly turn gold. And forever Baron Corbin's bored face will be immortalized. I feel like we'll talk more at length about Baron Corbin come when we do Takeover Dallas, but this is a moment that actually did kind of get a bit of a pop out of me, but not much because I was still worn down from Hell in a Cell.
By the way, I want to mention up to this point that here, I've kind of calmed down a bit on my some of my opinions of WrestleMania. I kept arguing with you guys about like how Charlotte won and all that stuff. I think the biggest problem is basically we had the pre-show, which doesn't really matter. But after the Intercontinental match, it goes. The results go like this: heel, 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 face, heel, again. Way too many heels winning, and like 4 in a row. Are you just trying to depress us, WWE? Is that your intention? I don't get it.
It's either depress us or confuse us, but either way, things have gone wrong. After this match, we get the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
And The Rock.
And The Rock. I'm actually surprised that I was the only one who popped for Thunderstruck.
I just didn't want to watch some fucking cheerleaders, I guess.
This isn't Dallas Cowboys Mania. It's WrestleMania. Yeah. And then The Rock comes out with a fucking flamethrower.
And burns all the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders alive.
Oh my god, that would have been something.
I think this show would have been improved if Rock just started taking a flamethrower to the audience. Just watching people
killing everyone, back out.
Just watching
actually no. The Rock goes backstage and it takes the flamethrower into the office full of the writers and uses and that's who he needs to be burning with the flamethrower.
Still being just like, I just want Rock to just use the flamethrower indiscriminately.
He lit his name on fire.
Yeah, he lights his name on fire, but if he started lighting people on fire, I would have probably been more amazed. And then The Rock, but then he puts the flamethrower down and he starts doing Rock shit.
He starts taking a Rock shit.
Yeah. Also, he
takes his shit and it's as hard as a rock.
It's just, what did he talk about at that point?
It was standard Rock promo, full of his typical catchphrases.
Yeah.
And then he mentions that they've broken the attendance record.
Which I think they didn't. They didn't make the actual attendance number.
Actually, they did. They did break it. They just broke the fake record.
Yeah. And then out come the Wyatt family.
The Lesnar and Ambrose match depressed me. This pissed me the fuck off. This legitimately just made me angry. I know that people say, well, Bray Wyatt has never been has pretty much lost his mojo, starting with when he lost his
and this
lost
is supposed
when he lost
to
the
help?
feud with Cena.
And this
he's
is
never,
supposed to help?
but this is not. This is worse. He's been kind of slowly been buried, but this was them slamming the lid shut on the coffin. So Bray Wyatt comes out, cuts a great creepy promo. Rock, of course, makes fun of him in typical Rock fashion. Rock says he's going to kick their ass. They all surround him. And then he challenges to a match. He calls her for a referee, and immediately he only has to fight one of them because Bray's hurt, and Luke. But why couldn't it be? Where was Luke in there? Was Luke there? Was Luke Harper there? So he could have at least had a 2-on-1 handicap match. But no, he fights just Eric Rowan, immediately hits the Rock button, covers for a pin, beats him in 6 seconds. Fuck you, WWE.
Can't even. Just.
If that wasn't bad enough, the Wyatts finally do what they should have been doing and surrounding the ring to attack him. Well, I messed up, and they didn't surround him earlier. Now they surround him. Then, another confusing moment of WrestleMania. John Cena shows up. Wait, I know John Cena's a fucking mutant of healing proportions, but
he started doing like push-ups or something. Didn't he do like push-ups immediately after? Not push-ups, but like he was already lifting weights like halfway before they expected him to.
Yeah, but still, he's not. But still, even still, he comes out for this.
He doesn't need a WrestleMania paycheck.
But he comes out for this thing. Yeah, he didn't have to do much, but he shouldn't be doing. Should he really be doing anything at all? He comes out. He comes out, does his typical Cena stuff: 5-knuckle shuffle, AA. They fight the Wyatts off. Rock hits the people's elbow on Bray, and they all run off. And Rock does his "if you smell" and Cena and Rock pose, even though even though these two should still hate each other.
I think they have respect for each other. They like shook hands at the end of the match at 29, but
they didn't just shake hands. Cena raised Rock's arm and they hugged. What?
At the end of WrestleMania 29?
No, this WrestleMania they hugged.
I don't know. I'm thinking back to 29. You were saying they should still hate each other. No. I thought they made up at like 29 after Rock beat or Cena beat Rock.
I think that was more of a gesture of respect of their competitive, not say that they suddenly like each other.
I don't know. I'm just... I don't have words for how much I hate this segment. I mean, no one benefits from this. Rock doesn't need a 6-second minute. You fucked over King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy had the record for the shortest match in WWE history, 9 seconds. But no, or in WrestleMania history. But no, now The Rock has it, because The Rock totally needs that.
Is that what they were trying to do?
I don't know.
Did they want to break this? That makes me wonder if that's what they were trying to do. If they were trying to break Bundy's record.
But it's just, yeah. Why do you need this? Why do you need this segment? Why do you need, John Cena to come? John Cena does not need a WrestleMania paycheck. His house could probably buy a house.
He could probably fit a house inside his house.
He's not hurting for money.
And people have said this about Bray Wyatt. You have in Bray Wyatt essentially a character that could be the next Undertaker. And he really should be. He should be the guy that takes over for Taker once Taker's done. Essentially being that guy, that kind of creepy character that lasts for many years after he's gone. He could be that next guy, but they continuously make him look like a joke. And I don't understand, and no one understands why. Is there something they don't see in him?
I don't know.
Is there something they feel like he's missing? I'm at a loss to figure out why they're doing this. And finally, after that moment, we get this. To top it all off.
The main event.
The shit pile on the rest of the shit.
Let's talk about the one good thing
well,
of this.
I shouldn't say the shit, but I meant more. It's like the rest of it was like the shit you didn't know you had to take, and then the shit you had to.
Let's talk about the one good thing that this match had going for it, which was Triple H's bizarre, like, H.P. Lovecraft. What did you refer to it as, Allie? You referred to his entrance as some sort of like either there's like a horror writer or something. I'm gonna go check his Twitter. Where it's these pictures, like these images of people with plates over their mouths, and Stephanie McMahon in this weird like dominatrix outfit that that has been dubbed MILF Huertes. This is my favorite thing.
And she comes out and basically called. Oh, by the way, this whole entrance, they have this video where you see a bunch of people with like metal pieces, clamped onto their mouths, and she basically She proceeds to call all the people in the audience, "You're a bunch of sheep, and you need, saying how much you really need us, but we're gonna kill all your hopes." And she basically, what she says is very prophetic in a sense.
because it's exactly what she says is what happens.
What is this Cirque du Soleil shit?
Or kind of what has been happening.
What Ali tweeted.
What?
It's kind of been what
you referred to it as Cirque du Soleil shit.
It's kind of what she says is what's kind of been happening the whole for most of the night is we're going to kill all your hope. I forget everything she said. It's not even. I wish we could pull it up somewhere.
Such a fucking. It was just such a weird entrance. And Triple H comes out. I don't even remember what he was wearing at that point.
He was just wearing his traditional ring gear. He didn't even come out with
I'm wearing my usual stuff.
I think he did at least come out with a bunch of followers, which were basically just all NXT guys.
Yep.
in masks and shit. It was but it's this is where it's good. It's so over the top and super. We were just what the fuck are we watching?
Triple H just has the stupidest entrances. It's amazing.
It's the best part of every WrestleMania is just to start losing your fucking minds. It's what's Triple H gonna come out and do this time? The first year that it happened in 29, it was just by complete accident that he just got dry ice on himself. And then 30, it was the fucking Game of Thrones shit. Then 31, it was the Terminator.
Yeah.
And now here we are with Mil Fuertes.
Mil Fuertes.
That's not gonna get old. I'm gonna be calling Stephanie McMahon that every time she shows up now.
But yeah, and then Roman Reigns comes out and gets pretty much a generic entrance. Okay, I get why they now. It's good that they're finally just have him do. He's not coming down the audience anymore, because at least they're taking that out because that was the Shield. At least they're getting rid of that part. But it's just a generic and it's mostly a generic entrance, except for the fact that they do this thing with his logo on this big star that they have, this big holographics or this big star with a computer graphic on it. They have Superman punch the ground, and then it causes all their pyro to go off, or as I think Ali called it, half the budget.
The old school Kevin Nash entrance of half the budget.
But yeah, as expected, he gets booed. There are some cheers. There are some cheers, but there are a lot of boos. But did Triple H get booed during his entrance or cheered? Because they say he got booed. But didn't they start cheering him at all? Did they start cheering him during the match? Because I don't remember. Did anyone?
I don't think I have anything to really remember about Triple H Roman Reigns.
Yeah, this match you don't like. This is the match you don't want to remember because this was at least Shane McMahon and Undertaker had a spot you remember.
I do remember one thing about this match.
This had pretty much nothing except for the fact that at one point Reigns Stephanie gets involved in the match. She's been in his corner. She gets involved in the match. Reigns spears Steph. The crowd pops for that, if I remember correctly.
The thing I remember thinking when I saw that was I was kind of shocked that they would actually do that.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking.
But it wasn't a good shock. It was more just kind of a "what the fuck are you doing, WWE" kind of moment. But otherwise, this match was long and boring, and there was a lot of was dragging through the match.
And the biggest problem with this match is the match was okay. Nothing was necessarily botched. I mean, the match was kind of just it was okay at best. So it wasn't terrible.
It was just a terrible match of opponents.
It was the problem was these guys could not have a match that was
they had no chemistry. They
had no chemistry. Triple H was trying to get Reigns over, but he was fighting a losing battle.
There's no way you can get Roman Reigns over as a babyface.
And he had been trying for weeks before this.
You could have him. You could have Triple H. You could have Roman Reigns, excuse me. You could have Roman Reigns go to a show in Russia and just beat the ever-loving shit out of Vladimir Putin with a chair, and people would still find a reason to boo him.
Oh, here's another interesting little tidbit about this match. By the way, they decided to make this a no DQ match for
apparently they didn't, because I don't remember, because they
did say that, but here's the funny thing. They never announced it. It was printed on a bunch of merchandise, but they never announced the stipulation.
I fully believe that that means that they either lied about the no DQ stip, or they forgot that there was a no DQ stip and just decided, fuck it, we'll have a normal match. Because I think at one point the ref starts yelling at Triple H to put away the sledgehammer or else he'll get DQ'd. Well, there was nothing that you could do with this match that could salvage it. Maybe put a no DQ stip on it, because that would have worked. Because, Reigns can take a beating. Triple H is willing to take a beating.
I'm not sure there's anything. I'm not even sure that they could have saved it. The biggest. It wasn't just the match itself. As something we were talking amongst ourselves, the biggest problem with this match. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. We all know who's going to win this match.
And we don't want them to win.
And even if, say, Triple H wins this match, that just means that Roman Reigns doesn't have it, and we still have the authority. It means they're trying to build. Part of the storyline was they tried to build this as we're gonna finally. Didn't they at least try to hint that this was Roman Reigns was taking down the authority, which no one bought anyway. I think I remember them trying to do something like that, but of course no one believes that.
Yeah.
Or at least hint that Roman Reigns winning would somehow, do something to the authority.
Yeah. It would damage them in some way, but it really doesn't matter. They've been fired in kayfabe and come back.
Yep. So, the only thing that Triple H does is just make sure Roman Reigns doesn't have the title, and this is... It basically, at this, that's only a slight positive. Essentially, whoever wins this match, we lose. Really.
So it's Alien vs. Predator, except I'd probably rather be watching Alien vs. Predator right now.
At least that's a semi-entertaining movie.
Yeah. At least that movie's actually kind of cool.
Except the sequel. Don't watch the sequel.
Don't watch Requiem. Allie.
That movie sucks. There's so much dark in that movie.
Allie, can we get your thoughts on Triple H versus Roman Reigns?
Why? You guys have the exact same opinion as me.
Okay, then. I guess that's it for WrestleMania. Because Roman Reigns wins.
Yay, I guess.
Yay, and then they're going to try and put him up against AJ Styles, and they're hinting at a heel turn for AJ Styles. Good luck getting your audience to boo AJ Styles. It won't happen.
TNA tried it and didn't work either.
Japan tried it and went okay, but that's only because it was Japan.
And even then, eventually, he just turned face. He basically became a face.
It was more just they didn't care. It's
They
just like,
cheered him in spite of
this
it.
guy pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah, the ending of WrestleMania was pretty much like everyone had to have been telling Vince this is going to be a disaster, and he stuck to his guns, and he got exactly what he got exactly what everyone told him he would get. But in the end he got what he wanted, and that's I guess all he cares about. So let's move on to Takeover.
Let's get back. Yeah, let's get to some good wrestling. So we apologize for the depressing slog that was us talking about WrestleMania. Let's talk about some good wrestling. NXT Takeover Dallas. Starting off with American Alpha versus Arrival for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Arrival?
The Revival.
There you go.
Did I say the Arrival?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'll admit to not often caring about Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, but I've been told that they're actually really entertaining. And I like Dawson and Dash for the most part. I just don't like the name Revival.
Isn't that? It seemed like a tag team a name that the TNA would use.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they're supposed to be like the revival of like old school heels, like the Andersons and shit like that.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
there's
sense.
definitely some Arn Anderson style. Just like they just beat the shit out of American Alpha in that match. They didn't care. They didn't want to like be looked at as cool. They just wanted to just like they just beat on Jason Jordan as be like, boo, no.
So since I don't follow NXT every week, I don't watch the show every week, although maybe I should.
We should probably pick up on that.
This was a great match. This is one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a while.
Oh my god, their tag division is actually I'll admit their tag division is actually pretty good, even as limited as it is. They put on a lot better matches than even New Day do, because the New Day's been so handicapped by the tag teams they have.
What I described this match was as it's like watching an old school tag team match with a modern twist.
Yeah. And that's kind of what you want out of NXT. It's it brings a lot of old school wrestling back, but you have wrestlers who can do more. They can do more moves and that are more athletic.
By the way, Gable is really if anyone thinks that Jack Swagger is the reincarnation of Kurt Angle, no, Chad Gable is the reincarnation. It's well, I shouldn't say reincarnation, but he's the next Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle's dead.
Why did I say reincarnation? I'm sorry.
Hey, American Alpha really is just the world's greatest tag team again.
There you go. It's the reincarnation of world's greatest tag team.
Not only is like it's
Charlie Haas is dead.
Not only
I'm
is
not
like
saying they're dead. I'm saying the tag team is.
Not only like is it the world's greatest tag team, but like they have charisma, and they're pretty good.
Yeah. It's like, so we're watching basically the world's greatest tag team versus, like, the Brainbusters, as many people have compared them to. Which was
Although there was a weird spot in this match. So, Dash keeps there's one part where Dash is keeps Gable from finding out of they're keeping Gable cornered. They tags in, so Dash keeps Gable from finding out, and he tags in Dawson. Dawson hits a gory special, by the way, which is awesome. Or at least a version of it. Gable quickly rolls him up for a 2 count. Then Dash runs in. Gable counters, gets both of them with a double DDT. Jordan's still waiting for the hot tag, but Dash. This is a great spot, by the way. I've never seen anyone do this. Dash sneaks underneath the entire ring and then goes behind Jordan to pull him down. But then they try to do a double team, and it looks like they botch it.
I think Ali said that, yes, they did botch that move.
Yeah.
And the reason he mentioned it was because the camera didn't focus on it, which is like the tell. Because if the camera focuses on it, then it was a planned spot. But if it doesn't, then you botched.
Yeah, the fans chat, you fucked up. Referee doesn't see the tag, doesn't count Dash's tag on Gable. Fans chant Botchamania.
Man.
But other than that, great match. I mean, the match continues even after that, after the failed pin, and they keep going, and it's still a great match. And the crowd gets into it, starts chanting, gives them a "This is awesome" chant, which they deserved.
This was.
And.
Go ahead.
And then Gable and Jason do an assisted suplex for the win, and they win the titles.
Yay! American Alpha.
Yes.
Oh, man. Good. It's thumbs up. Good tag team match to start off the show.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fucking tag team match, actually.
We get after the match we get so Jim Ross, Michelle Beadle, Funaki, and Kota Ibushi are at ringside.
He's probably going to be showing up at some point.
Probably, yeah. The way Kana showed up and others have shown up, they just we're just watching. I just like to imagine, what if it ends up being he's not getting signed and he's just there because he's fucking Kota Ibushi and he wants to watch some wrestling? He just buys a ticket.
Well, apparently recently, Vicky Guerrero was in the audience for an event.
Yeah.
He's probably not. He's not going to be doing anything.
Probably because it was a Texas show. She was local. The next match is Austin Aries in his NXT debut versus Baron Corbin in his continual hatred of all indie wrestlers.
This was probably the best match Baron Corbin has done so far.
Yeah. And make no mistake here, we're not saying this is a carry job by Aries. This was Baron Corbin was working this match. He was actually He's actually contributing to the match. But
he still has the problem. He just
he's not a monster in the slightest. He's
I don't think it's that. It's like I don't think it's necessarily just his face. It's like his face has very little. He doesn't do a lot of expressions with his face.
Yeah, his default face is just kind of looking bored. But it's also because he's kind of he's very tall and he's lanky, and he's got that belly fat that's just like it just kind of detracts from like him looking intimidating. Like he just looks soft, but he needs to be a lot like he needs to be like he needs to bulk up, do some crunches and put a mask on or something.
Or go to a class where they teach you how to do facial expressions.
Oh yeah, and also as Ali has pointed out, he's balding. He's going bald.
Yep.
And it's really distracting when you look at his hair and you just realize you're balding, aren't you, Corbin? And you are not fooling anyone with this comb over.
And I remember just not liking this guy at all, but like not only is he doing.
I think the biggest thing is he puts the work in.
And I think the other thing that's helping this match is they must have great they have great trainers still, because they're telling him to do the small stuff to be a heel. They're telling him to talk trash, slapping around, be a dick.
He's picking up psychology, which is nice. But Baron Corbin is improving, but at the same time, he needs more. If that makes sense. He's one of the few people who needs to focus on image. Because he's got the look, or he's got the moves down, he's getting the psychology, but he just does not look like the character he's meant to portray.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as Elias Sampson and his stupid drifter gimmick. But it just doesn't. He doesn't look like a badass biker. So. You might, I'll save Elias Sampson for another C show, or I don't know. But yeah, this match was good. This match was Baron Corbin.
Not as bad as Mustache.
What?
Mustache. You know what I'm talking about? Eli Cottonwood.
Oh, no. Elias Sampson, but yeah, Eli Conwood, and what is a mustache? Who still look more intimidating than Baron Corbin, but anyway. But, Baron Corbin being the heel, beating up on Austin Aries, taunting the crowd, taunting Regal for being all like, hey, this indie guy is cool, and it's just like, no, fuck you, I hate indie guys. Or...
I do like that they've added another move for him to do, and it's a big move, the Deep Six.
Yeah, I like that move, though I can't recall what it is on the top of my head.
Was it called the Deep Six?
Yeah.
Also, Austin Aries' theme song is really cool. Let's just note that.
The Deep Six is a spinning belly to back suplex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it looks really good.
It gets a holy shit chant too, because he hits him on the floor. So anyway, he beats him up, but he goes for the ends of days. Aaron does a great counter, but he gets him in a roll up and wins.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, he actually got legitimately beaten up. I think he actually did fight. He did take the fight to Corbin. I'm not as bothered by it here because it was a long match. It wasn't like, the 5-minute Diva match where one's dominating and then they get the roll up and win. Like, how long was this match? Hold on.
You know what I think would have been a better finish he suddenly locks the last chancery out of nowhere. That would have been that would have been awesome finish.
The match was like 10 minutes long. 10:43.
That would be if you want an out of nowhere finish, have a slap on the last chancery.
Yeah, but I'm not bothered by the roll up here. Like this was an acceptable match to end on a roll up.
I don't know. I think it's more the feeling that it's more. If this is Austin Aries' debut, we just kind of saw Baron Corbin beat on him, and we didn't really get to see much of what Austin Aries can do. That's just what I felt.
But all in all, it was still a good match, and this was actually a good display of Austin Aries, I think. Because I do remember there was a point where Aries actually had taken control of the match.
And then we get the match of the year, full stop. Hell, it might as well be the match of the decade. It's that fucking good.
I love the fact that even if some people didn't know who Shinsuke was, he just immediately became like one of the top guys in the company by having an entrance.
That entrance is my favorite entrance so far. I've played it once every day since it first debuted.
It is an awesome entrance, but I still love Finn Balor's.
Finn Balor's is good, yeah, but it just for me it's like Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, and it was tough to meet like the standard of Subconscious, his New Japan theme, which is also really good, but just having an awesome like you know violin song going or like some violin music going that really fits him.
And what I like about it is like it's Asian without being stereotypical Asian.
Yes, and that's one of the things I love about like the current NXT, like the Japanese wrestlers in NXT. None of them have like stereotypical Asian music.
The only thing I don't like is the theme song's name is a little bit just, I'm a Japanese guy.
Yeah, The Rising Sun, yeah. Not a great name. But otherwise a good song to start things off. And then we have the match immediately starting off with the fans going, holy shit. And then they do a yes chant, and I just imagine that Nakamura is super sad as soon as they start doing that. It's like, man, don't remind me of Daniel Bryan. I want to wrestle that guy. But yeah, you can immediately see like why Shinsuke Nakamura was a big deal, because he is just like all over the place with his charisma. It's like he isn't even wrestling yet, and he's just got the crowd's attention.
And then the match itself, which delivered on the hype and then some.
Oh, man.
The best part was Sami Zayn's wrestling style changed, and he just beat the shit out of Shinsuke. While Shinsuke was beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. And, like, the moment everyone will remember is the fucking elbow fight they have.
Yes.
They're just trading elbows back and forth. Nakamura gets, like, cut early on in the match, but or early on in the exchange, but it's just like, boom! 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 Boom!
I think they did it for, like, 5 to 10 minutes straight.
5 minutes, yeah.
They're just straight up 5 minutes of elbowing each other, but it's just like, they're just going crazy stiff on each other.
Oh, by the way, at one point, Sami caught Nakamura nailing a fucking Michinoku driver.
Oh yeah, Sami Zayn buzzing out the Michinoku driver. Fans are super hot for this match with like Olay chants, Yes chants, King of Strong style chants. I think of there was a time where they started fighting, when they were fighting, and the fans chant "Fight forever."
Yes.
I think I would have been okay with if they just were forever locked in a fight, and you could just come back at any time when you're really bored and just be like, "Oh shit, they're still fighting."
You just watch them die in the ring and then get rebuilt into robots and just keep going.
I think they just revive themselves by the sheer force of wanting to keep fighting.
If they turn into zombies and then they would never stop going.
Zombie Sami Zayn, Zombie Nakamura. Wrestling eternally. They have to keep moving the ring around everywhere on like a forklift to carry them to the next stadium.
They have to give Sammy and Nakamura more human sacrifices so they don't attack the audience.
Oh my god, it is 20 minutes of pure great wrestling. The crowd is super
Basically,
hot.
what we're telling you, whoever happens to be listening, watch this match.
Yeah,
go watch it.
You completely deserve to like get at least a free month of WWE Network. Watch that match, and then do nothing else.
Just watch this match for all of the days of that free month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Watch this match once every day, and you'll feel good about yourself.
The match ends when Nakamura hits the the Bombaye, or as it is now known, the Kinshasa, to get the win. And I'm glad that they're not gonna like make that. I'm hoping that they don't do this with the Kinshasa, where it's
I noticed that the Kinshasa hits a little bit softer than when he did the Bombaye, because he like turns around when he hits it.
Yeah.
Instead of just fucking gunning for them. But
True.
I can understand why he wouldn't want to give someone a concussion during his first match.
Yeah.
He might do it normally later. It's still a running knee to the face though, so it's not really like it'll be soft, it'll be fine. No, you're getting kicked in the head.
No, it's a softer. It's getting kicked in the head slightly less than you would normally.
Exactly.
Yeah, welcome to the WV, Shinsuke. Can't wait until we see you within a month on the main event scene. Because I pray that if he ever does get called up, they don't fuck this guy up. He is
Toyota Nokia, the Japanese chef.
That's the thing, though, Mega Fighter. What WrestleMania did is WrestleMania really just
Even Jim Cornette said he likes him.
WrestleMania broke me. It just broke me so much that I'm like, this company is going to make money no matter what I want. If I want good things to happen, I need to watch NXT and Lucha Underground. This company is going to continue to make money, and it's going to continue to do what they want. Sure, it's going to be good. It might give us good things, and it might show us the potential for good things to happen. But I don't have any hope anymore. They've killed my hope for them. At this point, it's no longer just like they're probably going to fuck it up. I'm expecting them to fuck it up.
it is kind of sad that we do kind of expect that they'll screw up. Like, what should be the simplest thing? Like, you don't even really need to hype Shinsuke Nakamura. He is built of hype.
It's made of hype.
Like, he's made of hype. Like, he can go into a ring and everyone's just like, holy shit, who is this guy? I want to watch more of him. But you know what? Let's try and get back into the positives. You know, Shinsuke Nakamura is in the ring, wins the match. You know,
Sammy gets a send off, which was really cool.
You're getting all the story there, Allie.
yeah, we'll give you a second. It's probably a temporary distortion. Google Hangouts isn't all that great, but it's the best we got, and it's better than having to edit Skype recordings.
Well, that just quit working entirely.
Yeah.
So we get Asuka versus Bayley next.
Let's stay positive as Bayley dies.
What did you say, Megabyte?
Bayley's gonna die. Well, because it's Asuka versus Bayley.
Yeah,
Death
and
is
she
a
does kind of
prerequisite.
die. She does kind of die. I mean, she puts up a good fight, more than anyone else has ever done against Asuka. I personally felt this was kind of one of the weaker matches in the card, actually. I mean, it was good, but it felt like it felt a bit lacking. Like I've heard
most people say it's the second best match of the night.
It was good, and it just didn't feel great.
What did you want them to do? Did you want Bayley to get a gun?
No, I don't know.
This match was amazing. I will say that right now. I mean, it's tough to follow up Nakamura versus.
It might have just been the position of that match.
Yeah, Nakamura Zayn was tough to follow up. So, the fact that this match was good, like, this match is not sucking in the slightest. This is a good match.
I guess it's more the problem that I'm comparing it to other NXT women's title matches, which were better, I felt, than this one was.
Yeah, but on its own merits, this is still a really good match. Like, I still rate this pretty highly as far as NXT women's matches.
So basically, yeah, Bayley puts up a good fight, but unfortunately, Asuka is just slowly wearing Bayley down with hard kicks, and at one point Bayley got hurt on her ankle, but finally, Asuka had slapped on the Asuka lock. Bayley tries to get to the ropes, but Asuka drops her and tightens the hold. And she's still trying to get out, but eventually she passes out. And Asuka wins.
She didn't tap.
She never tapped, but Asuka wins.
She didn't tap, but she did die, so...
Yeah, pretty much died.
Yeah, and then people cried and it was sad.
You're still distorted, just so you know.
Okay, fine, whatever.
It's fine.
Fuck it.
Anyway, the next next random person we see in the audience, Bobby Roode.
He's probably all. They announced him as a free agent, so yeah, fuck TNA. He's signing there too.
And he's probably I wonder what James Storm is thinking right now. Is he really happy he took the money?
Man, I should throw someone else off a train.
Like keep doing that till I get
James Storm. Hey, James Storm. Are you really happy to take the money, considering that the company looks like it might not even get a sponsor?
Yeah, that's the pain.
Did we mention that like TNA's going to be sponsored by some racists?
Yeah, the Harris brothers, one of whom may or may not be a Nazi. He does have like SS tattoos.
I don't know. I think swastikas are pretty damning.
Mm.
And finally, we get our title match: Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT title. And of course, Finn Balor comes out as a demon. Samoa Joe is not impressed at all, because Samoa Joe is a fucking badass. Which is pretty surprising
because Finn Balor has a fucking chainsaw. Which I'm still saying he stole from Dean Ambrose.
And
I'm going to use that, God.
I guess Dean Ambrose got it back somehow.
That's true. I do think he did have it at WrestleMania, so yeah.
This match was good, but it started out disastrously. It almost turned into a This match kind of almost didn't happen.
It almost turned into a bath. But yeah, so Samoa Joe gets busted open.
And he becomes somehow more scary.
Yeah, Samoa Joe covered in blood is the most terrifying thing.
It's less Joe's gonna kill you and more Joe will kill you.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is there's this headbutt spot, and Joe gets cut badly over his eye, and the blood starts, tracking into his eye and down his face. So they have to stop the match several times to wipe the blood. Like 3 or 4 times, and the audience is not having it.
Yeah, they got pissed.
Yeah.
Fans are chanting, "Let them fight."
I think Joe once shoved the referee aside.
Yeah, yeah. Joe even wasn't having it either. Like, fuck off.
I think for as bad as it got, I think it's the storyline held it up, especially with Joe bleeding all over the place and still wanting to kill Finn.
And at one point, the fans actually started chanting "fuck PG," which was the greatest chant of the whole night. Fuck PG. And by the way, someone pointed out someone had a camera on Linda McMahon and Stephanie McMahon, who were in the audience, and they did not look happy when this chant started.
That part was apparently Shane's son was there. He was also chanting "fuck PG."
Who was also chanting "fuck PG"?
Shane's son.
Who? I still didn't.
Shane's children.
Oh, Shane's. Oh, speaking of which, going back, I mean, I know this is off topic, but going back to the match, to the Hell in a Cell match, as we mentioned, Shane's children were there. But what we didn't say is that after the match was over, they cut to one of Shane's kids looking absolutely fucking horrified, just like hand over their head, going basically with their face. Basically looking like, "Dad, why did you do that?"
Yeah. Stupid dad going and getting himself killed. diving off shit.
But anyway, back to this.
Back to this match, which was like that's the thing. They worked with their limitations and still got through most of the match. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but at least you can understand the circumstances allowing. Like it wasn't like they were being hindered. It was more just the circumstances left them having to work around something. That could have been.
Phoenix was like pissed that they didn't just like let the blood go and let him fight. I was like, it's a cut over his eye.
Yeah.
It was a bad cut. Like you can't just let that. You can't just like let that. If it was like on his, if it was like a cut over his forehead and it wasn't going into his eye, then yeah, them wiping the blood off would have been bullshit. But it's they just want to make sure blood doesn't go into his eye and cause complications there. That's not good. Like if this were a UFC match, Finn Balor might have actually won on a doctor's stoppage. It was that bad.
Yeah.
Like what they really should have done is, and someone said this, and I totally agree. They should have just stopped the match for like 5 minutes and get the cut closed up for good. And instead of constantly stopping the match to wipe it off.
But yeah, in spite of the cut, they have a good match. Balor wins with the Balor doesn't win with the coup de grace. I think he goes for the Bloody Sunday, and Joe applies a Coquina clutch, and then Balor counters and pushes himself out of the corner, getting Joe down for a pin, and that's how it ends.
And Joe looks fucking pissed.
Joe looks ready to kill everyone in the area.
But he doesn't do anything, which I was kind of like, I expected with that kind of face, I expected him to start, destroying Finn. But I suppose I guess it's okay to have a moment where like this where he can always come back the NXT and beat him up again,
Yeah. So that was Takeover. 5 good matches.
And I think it was also the sense of it was weird for Finn Balor to win this match because he's had the title for a decent length, and
he's now the longest reigning NXT champion, by the way.
He is?
Yeah, he beat him last week.
Oh, cool.
You would think that Samoa Joe would win it would finally win it at this point. I don't know. I mean, I'm not against it. It just seems kind of odd, more than anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I really can't complain too much.
It's not. It's such a minor complaint. It's more.
Yeah,
just
it's a very minor complaint. But
it's more of an odd. It's more of an odd decision than anything.
At this point, it does feel like he needs to drop it soon because he's starting to run out of he's starting to run out of competition at this point. People are getting called up, and no one's yet to make themselves a big heel. So they're probably going to do a series with Samoa Joe at this point. But I think Joe's at this point lost twice, so he's going to need to win the third one, or else it's just not going to matter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, everyone pretty much knew that just by virtue of having the Nakamura Zayn match, there's no way WrestleMania is going to be able to top that. But not only did it not top it, it didn't even scratch this show's surface.
It couldn't. I think half of WrestleMania 32 was outdone by American Alpha versus the Revival.
And I think that's been kind of the case every time, pretty much.
Like
It's like
90% of the time, yeah, it's been like NXT's always put on the better show. Because, there's no bullshit, there's no need to like do this storyline or do that storyline. It's just, let's have some good matches planned and then we'll work a storyline around it.
So, I think wow, I never thought of it that way. I think you kind of nailed what NXT's secret is in booking, is more they have an idea for a match, and they get fans are going to want to see this match. They think of matches the fans want to see, and then they plan who's going to have a match against who, and then they write the story around it instead of writing the story first. So my question is, and especially to Allie, do you think that's the smarter way to book?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because it seems to be working for NXT. If that's the case,
It just seems like they'll just slowly rotate in and out wrestlers just to showcase what they're good at. And they don't usually stick to the same person wrestling the same guy for too long. That's why I came up with the rule of if you fail to capture the title twice, you're either going to Raw or someone else will take your place.
Yeah.
So I think that means Samoa Joe might debut later on.
Possibly. That does mean he's probably getting the call up.
But yeah, that was Takeover, Dallas, and so far we do have some good things going on in WWE, though there's a good chance that Roman Reigns will probably win against AJ. I mean, I suppose they have to make. I suppose they can't just let him lose immediately.
Bullet Club's arrived. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have arrived.
Enzo and Cass have arrived.
Enzo and Cass have debuted and are great as usual.
Like calling up so many people because of how limited the roster is. Cesaro came back, which is good.
Yeah.
But I just feel so weird watching WWE now, because it's like it feels like everything leading up to WrestleMania is we're going to do what we want, and now after that's over, they're giving us a lot of stuff we wanted, or they're actually giving us stuff we want to see. So it's so weird. I just feel like I want to. It's like I really want to like this, and I do kind of like it, but I have this. But I just have this like sensation of like this is all going to go sour at some point. I just have like, considering the past 5 years. And especially, what they did at WrestleMania. It gives me a bad feeling that they're going to, and like I said, I have the expectation now that they're going to fuck this up. I really do. I really want to be optimistic. I really do, and I want to be hopeful for better things. But after WrestleMania, that's so hard. It's really hard. So, is that it? Does anyone else have anything to say?
No, I think we're good here.
Yep.
I felt like I kind of took over the show a bit. I didn't have that wasn't my intention.
Pretty much it. Fuck you.
Well, you didn't talk much, but you said that was because you have the same. You kind of echo.
Yeah, it feels like you were basically saying what we were all thinking, so it kind of became more of like, we didn't really have as much to say from it that was unique. But hey, that's fine.
I was willing to. I was waiting for one of you guys to like interrupt me and like jump in and say something, because I didn't want to take over the show. I wanted you guys to get your say in. But yeah, so basically I think we're all hopeful for what the future can bring. I think we're all feeling at least somewhat similar to how I am. We're very hesitant to be. We're cautious. We're all at least cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I would say. So that was a Steve show, where I guess I was the star of the show. Well, part Mega Fighter got his stuff in here.
That's recorded.
Yep. Well,
goodbye, Internet. And pretend there's a big black man chasing you.
I guess it's not right.
You don't want to get raped by strangers.
Jesus. Touch me. Touch me harder.
Touch me harder.